Dear friends, I am giving a few philosophers who have given their educational thoughts for social change. I think I will be giving some 7 philosophers who owe a lot to the modern education. So let us see one by one. Now, in this video lecture, let us talk about Vivekananda, Sri Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, to the development of educational thought for social change. Contribution of Swami Vivekananda to the development of educational thought for social change. Swami Vivekananda, one of the most influential spiritual leaders of India, is remembered not only for his philosophical teachings but also for his vision of education as a means for personal and social transformation. His contribution to educational thought is vast, and his ideas continue to resonate with modern educational philosophies that seeks to create holistic individuals and progressive societies. So let us analyze some of his important thought patterns, philosophical foundations of Vivekananda's educational thought. Vivekananda's educational philosophy was deeply rooted in Vedanta, a spiritual philosophy, Indian philosophy that emphasizes the unity of all existence and the divinity inherent in every individual. He believed that education should aim to bring out this inner divinity by fostering the development of both intellectual and moral qualities. For him, education was not merely a matter of academic achievement but a comprehensive process of character building. He viewed education as a tool to awaken the mind and soul, enabling individuals to realize their full potential and contribute to the welfare of society. This spiritual foundation laid the groundwork for Vivekananda's belief that education should go beyond personal advancement and serve as a force for social good. Now let us analyze his view on education, holistic education for the complete human being. One of Sri Vivekananda's, Swami Vivekananda's key contributions to educational thought is his emphasis on holistic education. In other words, all-rounded development of the students. It is education that integrates the development of physical, mental, emotional and spiritual capacities. He believed that the existing education system of his time, which was largely influenced by British colonial rule, focused too much on rote learning and intellectualism without paying attention to the development of the whole person. Swami Vivekananda stressed the importance of educating the mind, body and spirit. He argued that without the development of strong character and morality, intellectual achievement would have no meaningful impact on society. Swami Vivekananda urged educators to focus not only on academic instruction but also on physical education, ethical training and spiritual development, as these elements together would produce well-rounded, enlightened individuals capable of leading social change. For him, education is meant for character building. According to Swami Vivekananda, character building is the essence of education. He firmly believed that strong moral character is the foundation upon which individuals can achieve greatness and effect positive change in society. In his speeches and writings, Swami Vivekananda often quoted the Upanishadic dictum, "Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man." Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. For him, the goal of education was to uncover this innate perfection through the cultivation of virtues such as self-control, compassion, courage, and truthfulness. Swami Vivekananda argued that knowledge without character was dangerous, as it could be misused for selfish purposes. Therefore, character building should be prioritized in the education system to ensure that students become responsible citizens capable of serving society and upholding ethical values. By fostering virtuous individuals, education could become a powerful tool for creating a just and harmonious society. What is his focus on self-reliance and empowerment? Vivekananda's educational philosophy emphasized self-reliance and empowerment, particularly for marginalized sections of society such as the poor and women. He recognized that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and oppression, and he advocated for an inclusive education system that would provide equal opportunities for all. Swami Vivekananda believed that true education should make individuals self-reliant, both in thought and action. Swami Vivekananda often said, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached, urging individuals to work toward their own betterment through personal effort and education. By encouraging self-reliance, Vivekananda's educational thought aimed to instill a sense of dignity and self-worth among the masses, empowering them to improve their circumstances and contribute to the progress of the society. For women in particular, he stressed the need for education that would make them economically and intellectually independent. He believed that the upliftment of women through education was crucial for the overall progress of society. For him, education was a means of national regeneration. One of Swami Vivekananda's most profound contributions to educational thought was his vision of education as a tool for national regeneration. In colonial India, Swami Vivekananda saw the need to revive the country's cultural and spiritual heritage, which he believed had been suppressed by foreign rule. He was critical of the westernized education system that had been imposed on India, which, according to him, had alienated the people from their own traditions and values. Vivekananda called for an education system that would combine modern scientific knowledge with India's rich spiritual and cultural heritage. He believed that by connecting with their own traditions, Indians could regain their lost self-confidence and work toward the betterment of their country. His vision was not limited to individual success, but extended to the collective welfare of the nation. He sought to awaken the youth of India to their responsibilities towards society, encouraging them to take up the cause of social reform and national progress. In this sense, education was seen as a revolutionary force that could drive the country toward independence and self-sufficiency. For him, education is meant for social service and social change. Swami Vivekananda was a strong advocate for social service, and he believed that education should instill in individuals a sense of responsibility towards society. He envisioned a system of education that would produce citizens who are not only skilled and knowledgeable, but also committed to serving the needs of others. He famously said, "They alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive." Mark these words. They alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. For Swami Vivekananda, education should not be pursued for selfish ends, but for the greater good. He urged the youth to use their knowledge and skills to uplift the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden. This idea of education as a tool for social service reflects his broader vision of social change, where individuals work not for personal gain but for the collective progress of society. Swami Vivekananda's emphasis on service is closely linked to his belief in the unity of all existence, which teaches that by serving others, one serves oneself. Education, in his view, should inspire a spirit of selflessness and compassion, qualities essential for creating a more just and equitable society. And also he promoted practical and vocational education. Vivekananda also stressed the importance of practical and vocational education. He believed that education should not only cater to the intellectual and spiritual needs of individuals, but also provide them with practical skills that would enable them to earn a living and contribute to society's economic development. During his time, the Indian education system was heavily focused on literary and academic pursuits, leaving little room for practical learning. Vivekananda advocated for an education system that would teach students skills such as agriculture, engineering and trade, which were essential for national development. Swami Vivekananda saw vocational training as a means of empowering individuals, especially the poor, by giving them the tools they needed to become economically independent. In this way, education could serve as a vehicle for both personal and societal upliftment. For him, education was for global citizenship. While Vivekananda was deeply committed to India's spiritual and cultural revival, he also believed in the importance of global interconnectedness. He emphasized the need for education that promotes universal values such as tolerance, peace and understanding among different cultures and religions. His famous speech at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago in 1893, where he called for harmony and cooperation between the world's religions, reflects his belief in the oneness of humanity. Swami Vivekananda's educational vision was not limited to India. He saw education as a means of creating global citizens who are aware of their responsibilities toward the world at large. What could we give as concluding remarks for Swami Vivekananda's ideas? Swami Vivekananda's contribution to educational thought was profound, deep, and continues to influence educational philosophy and practice today. His ideas emphasize the holistic development of individuals, the cultivation of moral character, and the use of education as a tool for both personal empowerment and social change. He envisioned the education system that would promote self-reliance, social service, national regeneration, and global citizenship. For Vivekananda, education was not merely a means to acquire knowledge, but a path to realizing one's inner potential and contributing to the greater good of society. His vision of education as a force for social transformation remains a powerful and relevant ideal for educators and policymakers, striving to create a more just and equitable world. Let us examine some of the questions related to this topic. What was the foundation of Swami Vivekananda's educational philosophy? Western philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, Buddhist teaching, Greek philosophy. That is Vedanta philosophy. Swami Vivekananda's educational philosophy was rooted in Vedanta, emphasizing the unity of existence and the divinity in every individual. According to Vivekananda, what should education aim to develop? Intellectual capacity only, physical strength only, the whole person, mind, body and spirit, political awareness, which is the right one. The whole person, mind, body and spirit. Vivekananda emphasized a holistic education that integrates the intellectual, physical, emotional and spiritual development, all-rounded development of the students. What was Vivekananda's criticism of the education system during British colonial rule? It focused too much on vocational training. It neglected India's spiritual heritage. It provided too much religious instruction. It emphasized practical skills over academic learning. So, what was Vivekananda's criticism of the education system during British colonial rule? British colonial rule, according to him, neglected India's spiritual heritage. Vivekananda criticized the colonial education system for alienating Indians from their spiritual and cultural roots. What did Vivekananda consider the essence of education? Essence of education: accumulation of knowledge, memorization of facts, character building, industrial training. That is character building. For Vivekananda, education's primary goal was to build a strong moral character, which dictum did Vivekananda often quoted regarding education. Knowledge is power. Education is the key to success. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. The pen is mightier than the sword, which is the right quote given by Vivekananda. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. This quote reflects Vivekananda's belief that education should help individuals realize their innate potential, innate powers. What role did Vivekananda believe education should play in society? Creating industrial workers, developing individual wealth, serving social good, preparing students for government jobs. Serving social good, that is his aim. Vivekananda emphasized that education should not be for selfish purposes but for the benefit of society, as we have already read it. How did Vivekananda envision education for women? Focused only on domestic skills to make them economically and intellectually independent, limited to primary education, focused on spiritual teachings alone. How did Vivekananda envision education for women? To make them economically and intellectually independent. Vivekananda believed that educating women was essential for their empowerment and the overall progress of society through that. What is the ultimate goal of education according to Vivekananda? Financial success, social recognition, realization of inner divinity, political leadership. What is the ultimate goal of education according to Vivekananda? That is realization of inner divinity. Education in Vivekananda's view should help individuals realize their divine nature. What was Vivekananda's view on the relationship between education and social service? Education should focus solely on academic success. Education should instill a sense of social responsibility. Social service is separate from education, or education should avoid focusing on societal issues. Which is the right one? According to Vivekananda, what is the relationship between education and social service? Vivekananda believed education should inspire individuals to serve society. Education should instill a sense of social responsibility. Which of the following was not a priority in Vivekananda's educational philosophy? Vocational training, self-reliance, memorization of facts, character development. Memorization of facts he hated. Vivekananda was against rote learning and focused on education that fostered moral, intellectual and practical growth. How did Vivekananda view the role of youth in society? They should prioritize personal success. They should take responsibility for social reform. They should focus on traditional learning. They should avoid politics. Which is the right one? What is the role of youth in society according to him? They should take responsibility for social reform. Vivekananda encouraged young people to actively engage in improving society. What type of education did Vivekananda advocate for the poor? Theoretical education, education for self-reliance and practical skills, religious education only, no education was needed. So what type of education did Vivekananda advocate for the poor? Education for self-reliance and practical skills he promoted. Vivekananda believed that practical and vocational education was essential for empowering the poor. What was Vivekananda's stance on Western education? He fully embraced it. He rejected it entirely. He advocated combining it with India's spiritual traditions. He believed it should be limited to the elites. So what was Vivekananda's stance on Western education? He advocated combining it with India's spiritual traditions. Vivekananda believed that Western scientific knowledge should be integrated with India's spiritual wisdom. In Vivekananda's view, what was the connection between education and national regeneration? Education was only for personal advancement. Education was key to reviving India's cultural and spiritual identity. Education was a way to promote British rule. Education was irrelevant to national issues. Which is the right one? What was the connection between education and national regeneration? Education was key to reviving India's cultural and spiritual identity. Vivekananda believed education could help India reclaim its lost self-confidence and work towards national progress. Which of the following best describes Swami Vivekananda's view on vocational education? He thought it was unnecessary. He emphasized it as essential for economic independence. He considered it inferior to academic education. He believed it should be restricted to men. So, which statement describes Vivekananda's view on vocational education? That is, he emphasized it as essential for economic independence. Vivekananda believed that vocational education was crucial for empowering individuals and developing the nation. What did Vivekananda believe education should inspire in individuals? A competitive spirit, a desire for wealth, a spirit of selflessness and compassion, a focus on personal achievements. What did Vivekananda believe education should inspire in individuals? A spirit of selflessness and compassion. Vivekananda emphasized that education should cultivate qualities like compassion and a commitment to serving others. Which phrase reflects Vivekananda's views on the importance of education for personal development? Among these four, education is the key to personal wealth. The goal of education is to prepare for employment. Education is the unfolding of the mind and spirit, or education is solely academic. Which is the right one? Education is the unfolding of the mind and spirit. For Vivekananda, education is a process of awakening one's full potential. How did Swami Vivekananda view the role of religion in education? It should be excluded. It should be central to education. It should be integrated with modern scientific knowledge. It should be the only subject taught. What is the correct answer? What is the role of religion in education? It should be integrated with modern scientific knowledge. Vivekananda believed in combining religious teachings with modern science to create a balanced education. Vivekananda's concept of education emphasized what above all else? Material wealth, intellectual competition, realization of inner potential, political influence. So, which he gave importance? Realization of inner potential. The goal of education for Vivekananda was to help individuals realize their inner divinity and full potential. What was Vivekananda's famous message for the youth? Focus on yourself first. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. Follow Western ideals. Avoid social issues. What is the famous message to the youth? Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. The message reflects Vivekananda's call to action for youth to strive for personal and social betterment. What did Vivekananda believe was the role of women in society after receiving education? They should return to traditional ones. They should become economically and socially independent. They should focus on religious studies. They should avoid public life. What did Vivekananda believe was the role of women in society after receiving education? They should become economically and socially independent. Vivekananda advocated for women's education as a means to empower them to become independent and contribute to societal progress. What did Vivekananda see as a major flaw in the education system of his times? Lack of spiritual development, excessive focus on physical education, too much emphasis on traditional knowledge, over-reliance on practical skills. That is lack of spiritual development according to him. That was the major flaw in the education system of his time. Vivekananda criticized the education system for neglecting spiritual and moral education. What did Vivekananda mean by the phrase, they alone live who live for others? What did Vivekananda mean by the phrase, they alone live who live for others? Life is meaningless without social service. Only the rich truly live. Selfish pursuits lead to success. Living for oneself is enough. So, what is the meaning of this phrase? They alone live who live for others. Life is meaningless without social service. Vivekananda emphasized that true life is found in serving others, reflecting his philosophy of selflessness. What kind of education did Vivekananda believe should be prioritized for national development? Literary and philosophical education, vocational and practical education, exclusive religious instruction, education for government jobs. Vocational and practical education we promoted. Vivekananda stressed the need for practical skills and vocational training to empower individuals and boost national development. Which global concept did Vivekananda emphasize through education? Nationalism, global citizenship, regionalism, political sovereignty. Global citizenship. Vivekananda promoted universal values like tolerance and understanding, advocating for education that fosters global citizenship. Thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you abundantly. Let us meet in other video lectures for different philosophers. God bless you.